That's neat. People play Pokemon Go on Twitch?
I mean,
Not surprised.
That's kind of neat.
there's a lot of people who theoretically play mobile games on Twitch.
That is true. I just never expected that Pokemon Go would be a Twitch game. Kind of trying to think of how that would work mechanically, and it's kind of interesting to think of, honestly.
I mean, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon does have a mobile app, so it
That
has
is
multiple
true.
mobile apps.
Alright, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do my intro real quick. Once I can find the damn thing. There we go. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be discovering the tale of shifting fates. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. I am here today with Eleonora.
Hello.
Shaky. Hey, and Oliver.
Hello, hello.
Unfortunately, Rowena cannot join us today because she is currently dealing with some job stuff. But next episode, we're going to be having a very interesting time because we're going to be introducing 2 more players on the first. So feel free to join that. They're either both going to be introduced or they're both going to be here and one's going to be watching. Regardless, there's going to be 2 more people on the first. So it should be very chaotic, very interesting, and very, very strange. Okay. And ignore the chat for right. No, not the chat, but the dice chat here.
Ignore the chat? Okay, I'll ignore the Twitch chat.
Sorry, Ellie, you are being ignored.
Again.
Quick, spam
yeah.
the chat. He has to ignore it.
I need to fix my water thing. Remind me to do that when I can, Ellie. But I did some stuff with some character concepts and things like that. So, ignore that. But, yeah, so last episode, y'all managed to successfully save the town of Miasi, if I remember correctly. It's also technically a town of Equinox, but that is the god. Specifically, the town itself's name was Miasi, which is an odd way of saying mercy. So do with that what you will, folks. At the end of last episode, oh right, let me double check something real quick, because hi Melody, welcome. I'll check something real quick.
We're supposed to be ignoring the Twitch chat. Don't engage! Don't engage!
I will engage with pain, suffering, and explosions. Where's my explosions, Ellie?
Quick, spam.
Dying.
Quick, spam. Have drink.
No, don't save up the points. Save them. Save them for a year and then spam the chat.
God, I would
I
have
can already
so
pay to get him to
many.
do it 100 times.
You have enough to do it 100 times.
That's
I
so
don't think
great.
you understand how many of these I've sat through, Sid.
Oh my
not
god,
be
the
able to join all of
dedication
yours.
for this man.
There's a reason I've often made the joke. Sid, you have 10 seconds to triple the cost of this ability.
Jesus Christ. I was actually going to lower it, but I'm going to lower it to 500 at some point, keep it there, but damn. Just don't make me choke on it. That's all I ask.
Remember, Sid, I used to be a demon.
That, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. How's that sound? That sounds good. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to post this into the chat. Don't listen to it for just a second. We'll introduce it in a
Oh
second.
no, that's right. I have to hear it again. I'm not ready.
You're welcome.
My nerves are already everywhere.
You're welcome. There you go. We'll listen to that in just a second after I do my recap. Just had to make sure that it existed. Okay. Hi Pocket. Drink on. I am very hydrated. I ate an entire eighth of a 17-pound watermelon by myself because I could. It was a very heavy watermelon. But anyways, so let me erase that for a second. So you guys saved the town of Miyasi from not only the goddess,
Equinox?
just had her name, Equinox, but you also managed to save all the people involved from possibly committing ritualistic suicide, or possibly worse, depending on a few factors.
Yay.
Yeah. You guys went in, shockingly did not hurt a single citizen, which well, aside from the ones that hurt themselves, but that's their fault. They were trying to hit a
Isn't their
man who was
fault,
doing
though?
gymnastics.
I didn't realize we didn't
Isn't
hurt
their
a single
fault, though,
one.
Sin? Remember, they were being puppeted.
That's
Would it
true.
have been their fault if they hurt themselves?
You know what? That's a fair point. And yeah, not a single one of you managed to injure any of them. Shaky just kind of dodged all of them, and I'm very impressed.
I mean, we all kind of did. And then proceeded to just slam the church doors in
Well-
their face.
For a brief, beautiful moment, I was the party monk.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ellie
yeah,
got to watch
considering
that for
the
that
monk
brief,
got
beautiful
folded.
moment. For that one brief, beautiful moment, she got to watch you be a monk. And then she didn't.
And then she was no longer a monk.
Dang, I spent so long trying to conceptualize as my backup character that I didn't even think about what I was going to have Oliver do today.
Write me a doctor's note.
Well, I mean, that much is a given.
You need to not move. Fuck you.
I mean, I'm planning to get her a splint. And
That's a
probably
good plan.
a quarterstaff.
It's a good plan. But yeah, after you guys defeated the father and the mother of which was bound into a wheelchair, the father was essentially being puppeted by his wife, to the best of your guys' knowledge. Yeah, the father took one hell of a crushing blow onto Eleonora, practically severing many of her muscles into her left arm. And not enough to affect system-wise, but enough to affect roleplay-wise. She got critical injury, folks. It's going to be great once you guys find out more about it, which Oliver will be once he does a checkup on her.
Internal bruising and everything else.
Yeah,
again,
your
Oliver
internal
doesn't- well,
organs are screaming at you.
I mean, again, Oliver doesn't know right now.
Yep. And then Ezekiel showed Rowena how to disassemble a dead body, stating that it was better for him to, for y'all, I guess, to disassemble a body rather than let necromancers get a hold of it, because that's just more insulting to the dead body, and the person who died. And then Ellie said fuck you and walked out and collapsed next to the unconscious body of her best friend from childhood. And,
She
you know,
collapsed again,
Comments.
even after she'd been stabilized and revived.
yeah.
I am in pain,
She collapsed on purpose this time.
Oh, God.
But
and
she's...
I am tired, and just no.
Yeah. And Oliver, you were looking over everyone who was absolutely knocked the fuck out. There's a couple of them that are still standing, but they're in a very weird way. And then Shaky, I don't think we discussed what you were doing after that.
I sat in a chair for a bit, and then I burned the whole church down, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so...
Oh, I got a skull. That was cool.
What to do with that?
Well, all good men
Hopefully
must
not
have
be
something to
cursed.
talk to. But yeah, so the church is now currently just lit aflame. It is just hundreds of feet high. Well, probably not hundreds, but tens of feet high. I don't actually know how high fires get when it's a whole building, so we're just going with tens of feet high. As you're standing there, watching this building burn, you hear someone kind of like walking up next to you and just kind of standing next to you.
Beautiful, ain't it?
Certainly is one way to get rid of a presence.
Nah, I'm gonna go Nap.
With all you've done today, that is a very good plan.
And I'm gonna walk away from whoever this is.
I'm kind of concerned.
Doesn't even look at the map. You know what? Fair enough. He'll walk
Plan
away.
failed.
Take a nap. Yeah, and so Ellie, you're currently out the fuck cold. And
Question. Did Ellie like move to the camp outside of town or something?
no, she's probably like 30 some feet away from where you're standing at the moment, just collapsed. Probably like
Okay.
Hopefully not snoring.
from a building.
I'm gonna just keep vigil over Ellie a bit then,
Okay.
so that nobody tries to
Probably a good idea.
nick anything.
That's fair. As you're kind of watching her, the dude next to her kind of stirs a little bit as he like sits up, holding his hands, and he kind of looks down at Ellie, and you just see him kind of stop for a second, like his hand on his head. He was like rubbing his eye, looking at her, and then his entire body just went stock still as he's staring at her, and then you can just.
Question: Is he wearing black?
Is he wearing black?
No.
I don't think he would be, no. It's like brown.
Dang.
Brown stuffs?
It's brown, shades of brown, and his daggers are brown with green.
No.
Close enough. I'm gonna use one of my few remaining first level spell slots, of which I have unknown amount because our character sheets got reset at the end of last episode, but I
can't
assume
find
I've
his
probably
thing.
got one.
Yeah, I think you have like one.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self for the express purpose of making my clothes black and nothing else. And then I am going to stand over where Ellie is resting next to this guy, and I'm gonna say, "Dearly departed, we are gathered here to pay our respects." I don't actually know how it goes after that. I've never attended a funeral. I think we're supposed to say some words. Well, here la Ellie. Didn't know him long, but hell of a fighter. Never seen someone swing a frying pan like that, and she will be missed. Would anybody else like to speak?
I'm so scared right now.
This is fucking hilarious. Dude kind
This
of like
is not okay, no.
dude kind of looks at Ellie, kind of looks up at you in full pitch black outfit, and looks back at Ellie. He's like, Ellie,
Is
what
Doc
did you
here?
get yourself into?
You said Doc was taking care of Ellie, right?
He's taking care of the rest of the town at the moment. She's just,
Ah, dang it.
yeah, she's just curled up practically in field position. She's fucking out. It's like, oh, Ellie, what did you get yourself into?
Shut up.
Not sure if you'd be awake at this point.
I'll pat his
True.
back. I know. It's hard to move on, man. It's hard to move on.
He's gonna like reach over and kind of shake her shoulder. Well, nothing to it. He, like, stands up.
I think if you want to raise the dead, you gotta kick harder than that.
Ah,
Give
yeah,
give
you're
her
right.
room.
Gotta get a real good swing on it. He's gonna like kind of like stand up and gently tap her shoulder with his boot.
I hope you know that hurts, Shaky, and if you keep doing it, I'm going to send you to tomorrow.
Nah,
Ellie
Ellie.
doesn't even open her eyes yet.
He's just gonna be like, ah, Ellie dear. I don't know who the shaky fellow is, but if he ain't anything like me, I know why you're here.
Now, I, for one, have never met anyone by the name Shaky. Name's Mick, by the way. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Name's Jackson. I'm surprised Ellie's not moving.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, she's just like opens her eyes and doesn't move. And like, name's Jackson as he shakes your hand.
Really hope I'm dreaming right now, and that's not who I think it is I hear.
Well, if you're
Well-
alive, that means that this man is trying to dupe me. Probably.
Most
Yep,
likely.
this is not a dream. Okay. Ellie slowly gets up while clutching her stomach.
He kind of raises his eyebrow at you. Don't tell me you did what I think you just did.
Well, hello to you too.
You did what I think you did, didn't you, Gare?
Do you want to take a guess? Because I'm in a lot of pain right now, and you tapping my shoulder really hurt. Especially what happened.
He's gonna like duck under your arm and kind of like put your arm around his neck and kind of lift you up, making it so you don't have to put as much weight on yourself.
I take it you two know each other.
Yeah.
Ellie covers her face.
Poor little dear here. She keeps following me everywhere I go, even when it's a dangerous mission.
I thought he was just trying to steal from her.
If I tried stealing from her, I'd be getting a pan to the face faster than I could breathe. Besides,
I
she's
don't
too
know.
stubborn to die. Ain't
I
that
don't
right,
know.
dearie?
She died once.
Say what now?
Oh no. You weren't supposed to tell him.
He did what now?
Judging by the way this conversation's going, she did what you thought she did. Or were accusing her of, I don't know.
Who murdered you, and are they dead?
Yes.
Oh. Damn.
You're welcome.
Well, you know, that means I can't rescue you like a knight in shining armor.
If you want to be my knight in shining armor, you would have brought me with you on your missions.
If I did that, you would have ended up here faster. Who's gonna save me if you can't save me, huh?
So you knew that you would get stuck here.
Nah, I just had a feeling. See, when someone tells you that there's a town coming around that, you know, everyone who's anyone gets sucked into, you just kind of figure you will at some point.
So wait, your plan was to intentionally get brainwashed so that someone whom you knew but had no clue where they were or what they were doing would come rescue you?
No, my plan was to not be here at all and just kind of leave the area. Unfortunately, not fast enough.
Okay, because I was going to say that would have been an especially stupid plan.
He's
Yeah.
already... Yeah.
Hey, I ain't that stupid, girl.
Ah, leaving me for 3 months without a single word.
That's not my fault. Only the first month was.
Mm.
I always came back, didn't
True.
I? I'm here now, ain't I?
But... Yes, you are, but... Do you have any idea how it feels each time you left? I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for you being gone for so long, I probably would still be in the forest.
Kind of takes a deep breath for a moment, kind of looks up. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're gonna have to apologize to Grumble and the tavern people because they had to deal with me and my emotions. With you not around.
Ah, poor little Ellie. The emotions. When's the last time that you, When's the last time you didn't set, Gramps' cane on fire, huh?
Before you left.
Yeah. We should do that again.
Honestly,
That's my
that would make
girl.
me really happy. I'm still mad at you,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
really happy you're here.
You can be mad at me once you're rested up enough to punch me in the face. How about that?
I mean, I don't want to punch you in the face, but that
Really?
does sound nice.
Me, on the other hand, you can be mad at me now, whilst I can conceivably run away from you. But don't be mad at me once you're rested. I'd prefer it if you weren't mad at me once you were capable of punching me in the face.
I am not mad at you at all. I'm very thankful
Not
that
yet, you're
you
not.
saved me.
Kind of whispers in your ear, you know, I think if I carry you, we can catch up to him.
I mean, I'm all for that.
I'm gonna go find the doc. I mean, Ralph, my business partner.
Ah, I
He
see.
doesn't
Is it
have a
Mick,
disguise?
was it?
That's correct. Mick of the famous Mick and Ralph's Commodities Emporium.
Interesting. Are you based here or in Riotal, Cataclysm?
We're based out of Circadia.
Just
Ah,
occurred to me he doesn't. Shaky doesn't fully know who he's talking to in full
Who is
detail who he
this?
is.
Who is this shaky fella you keep referring to?
Oh, no one, I guess, at the moment.
That's right. Doc, where are you? I'm just gonna walk away from you two because you two are weirding me out.
the cat just shrugs as he's like, he seems like a nice fellow. Travel
Yeah,
with
he
him?
is. Yeah, after...
Does he regularly make you beat him to death?
No.
Ah, impressive fellow.
He survived.
Even more impressive fellow.
I'm not that violent.
He just kind of like looks down at you and he's like, really?
Ellie glares.
I think Gramps has something to say about that.
I will happily headbutt you right now.
Well, you know, you'll injure yourself more than me at that point.
Fair enough. I've come and find you, and you're already being quite the little brat, a little goofball of sorts. Like
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Well, once you spend enough time here, you just kind of, well, it's nice to go back to the old ways, you know?
Yeah, it seems Ellie drops her head down. It seemed like you were fairly happy here. I was questioning whether you were needing saving in the first place because you were so happy with your perfect little family.
He kind of gently pats you on the back. One's actions are not always the same as their mind.
Fair enough. But still, even though I knew it was all fake, it still kind of hurt. I will say that.
He shrugs. I can't imagine the feeling.
But hey, now you're back to normal, I'm assuming so.
Well, the punch to your gut was not my intention, so I would say so.
I was hoping you wouldn't remember that, so you wouldn't feel so guilty.
Well, you remember a lot of things. Anyways.
Do you remember what happened in the market?
Yeah.
Ah. Well,
How
I won't
hard it
dig
is
at
not
you
to say
too much.
hi to someone when every fiber of your mind is screaming at your body to tell her so.
I mean, yeah.
Well. Let's just say, kind of hard to tell someone hi when your body don't let you. And he just kind of starts hobbling with you, basically, as he starts moving you towards, probably to where Doc is. Oh, Doc is moving around a lot.
It's someone that looks like a doctor, basically.
Wow, yeah, face mask is very, very distinct. So, how's your travels been? This doesn't seem like your first rodeo, which makes me deeply concerned about your entire existence.
Well, if a certain someone that I cared for a lot, quite a bit, didn't decide to go MIA for a while, I wouldn't have gone on my first little adventure. And it's only been like a week and a half since I've been out and about.
Well, if someone I cared about deeply didn't go off in search of me, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we?
I'm sorry, but you're kind of hard to find without a specific location being told.
Well, how's your shoulder doing exactly?
As good as it looks, I will put it that way.
Exactly. Now, where's that doctor?
I'm not sure. But no, it's been a fun adventure, I will say that. And it was definitely hard being out of the forest by myself, but. And constant reminders here and there, and dreams not helping whatsoever, but. Oh,
Oh,
and I
you
also
dreamed
got
of me? How sweet.
whatever. And she, like, hits him with her head gently. It gets worse whenever you're not around, so. I guess not
Well.
worse, but it doesn't help. But.
He kind of like taps you on the nose. Well. Should have told me then. Haha.
If you were around,
I
and
was,
maybe if
I
I
was
had a
around
couple
for a week
shots-
at a time. What you'd say? What are you talking about?
Back
I was around for a
then.
week at a time.
back then.
Yeah,
Just
how many times did I leave before then?
okay, you know what? I don't even know what I'm feeling right now.
Well,
Honestly.
then...
I feel static through my body just seeing you and you being right here. I feel like I'm overheating.
I do
and
believe that's
just
called a
super happy.
concussion.
Yes, a concussion all over my body, especially in my chest.
No, that's called brain
right
damage.
where in the heart.
You sure you didn't get heart damage? Organ failure does that to people.
I mean, I think you caused some damage to my heart being gone so often, so I think
I
that's your fault.
believe that is called an impassionate wanderlust for people. Oops. He like almost drops you with that. He's like, oops, sorry.
You seem to feel the same way.
Wanderlust of passion, of heartbreak, of sorrow, of existence.
Oh, how I missed you.
Missed you too, dearie. You see you see a somewhat tall dude, about 6'7", walking towards y'all. He looks big. Not like the 11-foot tall man was tall and lanky. This guy is just like kind of broad. His presence fills a room, even though you're not in a room. He's just town as he starts walking towards y'all.
I think my wounds are throbbing.
Well, don't worry about Arthur. He kind of waves at Arthur. This man
You know
is
him?
a tank. Yeah. He's a big guy. A very nice guy. Very sweet. He used to come around the markets a lot. I don't know much about him in terms of, like, personality, because, you know. But, seemed like a nice fellow.
I'll trust you then.
Arthur kind of, like, walks up to you and kind of folds his arms. You look like you've taken some damage. Are you alright?
Do you want an honest answer?
I prefer honesty.
Okay, well, I did just go up against a 12-foot paladin, and with his final breath, he dug his sword into my shoulder and brought me down to the ground. Really hard making a crater. So, I did die momentarily.
He kind of like frowns slightly, and then he like gently puts his hand on your arm. Feel a small radiant of warmth as our character, he uses cure wounds on you, and he gently pats your arm. I am sorry to hear that. I hope you feel a little bit better here soon. If you need me, I will always be here.
Thank you so much. That felt really nice. It almost felt like how having Paylor's presence around.
May the wings of Bahamut carry you always.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I gotta go check up on the other rest of the town. They need some kind of stability right now.
I understand. I hope to help out too, but I don't know if I can. I might have some people stop me in the process.
Best thing that you can do right now is to take a seat, let the doctor look you over, and then if you need to do something, do it with your voice.
Fair enough. Thank you.
He nods and he starts walking on his way. Jackson kind of just shrugs and he starts walking you to the doctor, to Oliver again. Strange fellow, but nice. Wings of Bahamut,
Seems
that's
like it.
new. I've only heard tales of them. Interesting.
I'm sure you know all sorts of stuff since you've been out and about.
Yeah, you don't learn too much when you're out and about. A little bit here, a little bit there. Citadel's kind of a chock full of ass, but it is what it is. He kind of walks up to Oliver. Hey, face doctor person.
Huh?
Oliver.
What are you talking about?
Oliver, hi.
Wait,
What
how
do
does he
you-
know Oliver's name?
Ellie just said
Oh,
it.
Oh, I missed that.
It's like face doctor. Doctor
Ellie is
mask.
not here right
Face
now.
doctor? I don't understand.
You have a mask.
Huh?
Mask doctor?
Oh! Pulls off his plague doctor's mask.
Oh, tiefling. Oh, interesting. How did you manage to meet a tiefling?
I kind of got lost and wandered all the way to Rio Tao. So. Oh, Greytown.
The things that happens when I leave this child alone. I
I'm not a
swear.
child. Excuse you. And she stomps his foot.
Doctor, she's doing extraneous exercise right now. Do you have something you can prescribe to her to make her not
Can you be a little bit more specific?
You can strap me to him.
What?
I'm just
Kinky.
teasing.
I think she needs some brain damage, health, medical issues.
Oh, how I feel
Anything
so
for
loved
brain
right
damage?
I doubt it. I might have a little something that could potentially help. Above game, this is assuming I actually got my spell slot. That's considering I don't think I've rested since the fight.
You have not. No, this is probably like, actually, yeah, this is probably
This
like
would
2
be-
hours after
yeah.
the fight. Yeah.
I
Not a
just
lot.
managed just like second level slots. I might be able to make an argument here for lesser restoration, but it's just like I haven't rested yet, so I don't think I get these slots charged already.
Ah. Well, Ellie, unfortunately, it sounds like you're gonna have to continue your brain damage for a little bit longer. He just like starts patting your
What
head.
makes you so certain it's brain damage?
No, you're right. This
Because-
could just be her natural existence.
Ellie glares at him. You
He
so
starts
much love
patting
right
your
now.
head.
I feel so much love right now. I think, like, this is. I think Gramps would show more affection at this rate.
He just starts patting your head with a smile. She's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I'm just going to turn to Ellie and directly ask her. So, what exactly is wrong?
Well, my entire stomach feels like it's bruised and dying, and my shoulder's doing a little better, just can't really move my left arm so much. But I'm just achy all over at this point. But feeling a little stable, despite what this fool says.
Well,
Also,
Then do-
this is Jackson.
Huh. Well, pleased to meet you.
nice to meet you too. Yeah, could you just
Uh,
give her a once over, make sure her intestines aren't, on the floor.
Sure.
The only
Sid,
thing
can
gonna
I
be
run a
on the
medicine
floor
check?
is you.
You're welcome to. With advantage. You
With
don't
advantage,
need it.
Wait, what? Oh! It didn't load in until just now.
Fair.
Nice.
But if you want to advantage, see if you can get higher than 17, you're more than welcome to.
Sure, what the heck? It's not like it can I just not 20. I see her full anatomy. I don't know.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Ellie, do you have the message I sent you? I think you copied it at some point. Paste
What
it.
message?
If you're talking
Which
about the
one?
one that you sent in texting, then yeah, she already shared that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Can
Oh, that
somebody
one.
resend that? Yeah, I won't read it out real quick. So, I mean, it won't matter in the long run because I severely doubt y'all will go into a battle before that point. But it's possible. If I can find it. Where is it? Oh. This one?
Wait, what?
Oh, there we go.
I think it just linked
Oh,
to it.
yeah, it just
Yeah,
links
you
to
did.
it.
Yes, internal injuries. Each round on your turn, do a DC 15 con saving throw. If you fail, you lose your attack action and your speed halves. You keep your bonus action and reactions. If you fail 5 times in one session, you will start taking damage from pushing your body to extremes. A 5th or higher healing spell will remove this injury, although the scar given from the attack is forever permanent. Essentially, she was literally hit so hard, her internal organs were slightly damaged.
Probably a broken rib too.
I'm just gonna say, this doesn't exactly seem like a quick and easy recovery.
So put her on bed rest. I will be your nurse.
All right.
I mean,
do we gotta,
that's a
do
minimum.
we gotta put her down, Doc?
She's gonna need at least 10 days to recover from this, and that's assuming she doesn't do anything strenuous. In the meantime, I might
that might be a problem.
He's gonna look at Mick, and then he's gonna put his hand over his heart, and he's like, "We gotta do it, man."
See,
Ellie
hate to see
shakes
it.
his head. Her head.
We gotta do it. I know it's hard, but we have to put her down.
Gonna point my crossbow, unloaded, mind you. I'm not a lunatic. At Ellie.
I'm just going to facepalm, just say she'll recover. It's just going to take a bit of time. She will probably have a scar from this, but she should be back into a normal condition after about 10 days worth of rest.
Oh.
In the meantime, I recommend splinting in the area of the injury to restrict its movement and make it less likely that it's going to accidentally tear. And if movement is necessary, I recommend some sort of cane or something to put your weight on for the time being. And if it's any consolation, I do actually have enough materials to make a singular healing potion if you're willing to give me the time for that.
He shrugs. Take your time, Doctor, although I think some of the town's fellows might need your help, but I don't think any of them was seriously harmed. Unlike my dear Ellie. He gently pats her other shoulder that isn't horribly wounded.
Well, at least you tapped the other shoulder this time. Thank you for that.
Well, I could drop you, but I feel like that would be against Doctor's orders.
Yes, I would prefer if you did not make her condition any worse than it already is.
Alright, dear Ellie, we're gonna have to put you on 10 days bed rest, as well as get me a nurse costume, or a maid costume. Do we have a maid costume? We probably do. Someone here was maid, probably. Maybe.
Oliver just literally just face palms.
Wait, are we discussing putting Doc in a maid costume? Because I would pay to see that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, as much as I would be interested in
I'll
seeing
take the
a
maid
chief.
costume. Doc, you put on the nurse costume.
Oh my gosh.
I will be the doctor.
In a doctor's uniform.
I think I'm gonna die from this. I'm really certain is a dream moment, so I'm... Ellie just carefully face palms.
Hey, if you're having a dream moment, that means we're all part of your imagination. I don't know if that's good or bad.
True.
I'm just gonna let out a frustrated sigh. Well, if you've got them figured out, I'm going to go look for a craftsman to see if they might have some materials I could use for her condition at the moment.
I do have a sash if that helps to put in a temporary splint. My arm at least.
That's a good plan.
That should work as an easy tie, but it would be nice to have some sort of branch or something to make sure it's held straight.
Well, we'd have to leave town for a tree of sorts, so.
Maybe not. Let me go see if I
Speaking
can
of
find
which,
a craftsman of some sort.
He
I
nods.
was actually gonna head out of town and just set up camp for you guys whenever you're done.
That could work.
Yeah, just follow the smoke. You'll find me.
Which
Ah.
one?
I'm not sure what you mean by oh because of the other fires. That's
Yep.
good. You're real funny. I wanna fall asleep somewhere where I'm not gonna worry about people stealing my shit. So I'm gonna go set up camp. I'm out. You two have fun. It's nice to meet you, Ellie's boyfriend. Uh,
He
Ellie
kind of like
slams her head into
stares at you.
Jackson's.
He like stares at you with a very blank look on his face. Is he's like, huh?
Ellie just slams her head into Jackson, just completely just trying to hit something hard.
Huh? 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 Huh?
Nothing. That clearly went over
Huh?
your head.
Shaky's doing a lot of walking away today. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but he's wounded and he wants to sleep and be alone.
Shaky heads out of the area as Jackson just kind of like looks after him. He's just like, no, am I? Am I? Am I? Am I?
I
Are you? Am
mean,
I? Are you? Am I? Am I?
what are you feeling right now? Ellie looks up at him.
That question should be directed to you.
Why? I
Uh,
mean, it can be directed to both of us.
I mean, it could. So what are you
But-
feeling?
I mean, I'm
Aside from
feeling
internal
many
agony
things.
and desire of pain.
Honestly, extremely happy. I haven't been this happy and really certain I haven't smiled this much since you left. Since before you left, actually.
Would that be considered Stockholm Syndrome if I took you with me? Probably not. I'd ask the doctor about that. Unless he's not a psychiatrist. I
Maybe
suppose that
he's
would
a
be
doctor
wizard.
of all things.
No, that's a fair point. Is he a doctor of the mind or a doctor of the heart?
Despite the questions seeming over your head, you seem to know a bit of heart and mind.
Well, when you've been pseudo-forced into a marriage for 2-ish months, it's, you learn a lot about a human being.
Ellie
And
drops her head.
walls. Lots of walls. Kind of painful sometimes. Lots of walls.
I bet. I got to be stuck with my thoughts and feelings in the woods for those solid 3 months. So,
Well,
but now I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy, Ellie.
At least now that I know you're safe and you're here and
Am
just
I?
blissful. I hope you are. You
I could be.
feel like Jackson.
Oh, I thought you meant safe.
I mean, I may not be able to protect you at this moment in time, but I can certainly try.
I
But
shall
you might stop
protect
me.
you like a bird.
The bird that leaves the nest a lot.
Well,
Leaves me
you gotta
alone
leave the nest to
lot.
fly.
Left me with my alone feelings for so long.
He kind of pats your back gently. Well, you're a good one. Kind of hard to leave someone like that, but it's also kind of hard to put someone like that into danger constantly and consistently and make them, embrace death. Oh,
I
gold
have
jars
you
there.
know, I've killed a good amount of orcs, though, in my first week. Actually, it was the very first day.
Impressive.
Right?
You also almost died.
You're not wrong. But
See where my fear comes
I
from?
didn't. Well, if you're so worried about me, goodness, at that rate, you might as well put a ring on me.
He kind of
Whatever
looks
that
at your
means.
earrings for a second. He kind of like stares at your ears.
What are you staring at? Did you forget I have elf ears?
No, you have a ring in your ear.
Yes, I've always had it.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to put that on your finger without taking it out of your ear first. You know, I don't know how far your ear can bend, but I'm fairly certain it doesn't bend that far. I could be wrong.
Ellie blushes. It's like, do you want me to take it out?
You're the one who suggested it.
I don't know if that's how you're feeling.
Of course it is. Kind of like pats you on the
Of
back.
course? What do you mean, of course it is?
He kind of like looks around for a second at like the 20 people who are just kind of wobbling back and forth, as if he's looking at a crowd of observers with a confused face. He's like, and he looks down at you, and he just kind of like gestures
Yes.
towards you, like the whole like, huh, kind of gesture.
I'm
Do you
taking you're
not-
not gonna.
One equals 2 with another 1. I'm 1. You're a 9. We're a 10.
Okay.
I'm bad at this.
Just a little bit, but it's adorable. Go on.
Why are you making me continue?
Why not? I mean, I want to have this moment. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I might be dragged off again to another adventure.
Yeah. I
But I
can't
at
take
least
out your
want
earring.
to have this moment.
I mean, I could. He starts to, like, fiddle with your ear. Can't. How do you?
This is so weird.
How do you take? How do you take this out? How do you?
It's just a clip. You lift up the metal, the long flat metal. You lift it up
Oh.
and then slide it out.
I was trying to push it through your ear. That makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of hurts.
Oh.
But I'm a little distracted right now with other feelings, so.
Like pain? He kind of looks at your arm again.
No. Thankfully, I totally forgot that I was in pain up until now. Thank you very much.
Well, let's get going. He kind of like just grabs your hand, just kind of slips on as he's walking.
Oh, alright. I guess.
Doctor said bed rest, so you better get some bed rest.
I'm sorry, my brain does not transition that fast, silly. We were kind of
He
having a
said it
moment,
like
I
3
thought.
minutes ago.
And in the last couple minutes, we were talking about something else.
You're gonna kill me one day.
And you're probably gonna kill me too, so.
He shrugs. And then the day kind of goes on like that. So as the day kind of goes on, I'm assuming, Oliver, you're attempting to take care of most people in there. And Ellie's dealing with Jackson. And Shaky's just getting some nice long sleepies in after getting the living crap kicked out of him.
Not yet. I'm just tending to camp right now and resting. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to sleep unless there's other people at camp to, you know.
That's a
Keep
smart
an eye on
plan,
things.
actually. Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, I am probably going to be examining as many of the individuals around the town as I can find, at the very least doing a basic survey of them. And if I can find one, probably pop into a craftsman and shop and see if they have a quarterstaff and maybe use some sort of branch to use as a splint or some other sort of. I mean, I could probably even work with baton or something like that. It's not preferable considering one end is pointed, but still.
You do in fact manage to get, like, he had like just a couple of like wood pieces lying around, more or less. A couple of them being used to build canes, a couple of them being used in other projects, but he just kind of basically gave you a small wooden, almost like a branch, a little bit thicker than a normal one, but he just kind of gave it to you. And so you managed to gain all of that, and checking up on folks. Most of them seem to be fairly okay for the most part. A lot of them are just kind of like stunned. Some of them are like very unpleasantly feeling about the situation that they are presented in. Most of them just seem very confused, not quite sure where they are at the moment. As you're checking up on folks, you do see Arthur like walking around and just kind of like pretty much giving people pep talks. More or less, you just see him consistently moving around, talking to people, seeming to kind of like sort of gather people up in more or less the middle of town throughout the day as it's going along. They're pretty much sitting down, talking with one another. You see children running around, some of them playing together, some of them huddled in a corner, some just kind of sitting in more or less the shade of one of the houses, and everyone's just having a really weird day.
But I don't, or do I pick up on too many of the individuals with particularly concerning injuries?
As you're looking over them, for the most part, there doesn't seem to be any that have any physical problems. Most of them that have like kind of bad-ish. Like the worst physical problem that you've encountered so far is probably a semi-deep laceration to somebody's like chest. Seems like a knife got them real good. But for the most part, it just seems like a lot of them are having mental issues. Their bodies are perfectly fine, but some of them are like curled up in the corner, crying. Others are just like disassociating, more or less. Some won't even respond to you when you ask them questions and stuff like that.
Do I have indication that it's due to appearance, or does there seem to be some other or particular reason?
Seems to be a different reason. No, not a single one has commented on your appearance so far.
Could I run an insight check to see if I can figure it out?
You're welcome to. God damn.
What
No,
the heck?
Just embrace it, Sid. Remember, I haven't had a decent roll the past 3 games.
You know, that's fair. Your luck the past 3 games has been really bad, so you know what? I love it. That works very well. So from what you can gather, just talking with certain individuals, interacting with Arthur at one point, Ezekiel kind of like popped out and just kind of walked away. But from what you can gather, for the most part, it seems that a lot of them have memories of the past several months that they have been in this town, of things that they have done, people that they have talked to, and most of it doesn't seem to have been in their control. Like, it kind of was. The best way I can describe it is like probably the way one person would describe it, I would say that you're talking to, is that when he's thinking about the last couple of months, it's his body wanted to do something and his mind did not, and his body won. And that is taking a toll on some of them. The kids don't seem to notice quite as much. There's a couple of them that are kind of curled up against, like, as I said, edges, or some of them may even curl up against their weird mismatched families. Many of the families are splitting up and just kind of walking towards other members of different families, for that matter. It seems very weird, and some seem to have been friends. Some are giving very long, comforting hugs. Some appear to hate each other, but they're all having a time. So it looks
basically the majority of them are in joy of the fact that they've got control again, and are too focused on that for the most part to really be as concerned about what had happened as the adults.
Yeah. And then a lot of the adults, some of them are having the same joyous moment of like it captures all of them. They're really leaning into that capture. And then some of the other ones are so far into the concern of what's happened in the last couple of months of them not having control of themselves to the degree that they should, that it's breaking them mentally.
But not too much I'd likely be able to assist them with.
Doesn't seem like it at the moment, unless you have a pep talk in your bag of goodies.
Probably not. Aside from the situation has been handled, and things should be fairly stable here for the foreseeable future. But I don't think that's likely to raise too many spirits, because I guess at this point they've probably picked up on that much.
Seems that way. But yeah,
The big
you
teddy bear guy will help out.
the teddy bear guy.
Yes, the giant teddy bear protector will help.
How is he a teddy bear?
Why not?
He has the paw fruit. But yeah, for the most part, it seems like you've kind of helped everyone you more or less can. Jackson is leading Ellie wherever she wants to go at this point, trying to find some place for that she will actually sit still, and she's having some issues with that.
I mean, yeah. Well, he'd likely walk her to the camp Mick talked about.
Doesn't know what that is.
I mean, he
Are
did
you-
say follow the smoke.
I mean that's true. He walks up to the church.
No! So this is where I died.
Huh. Were you dead or were you half dead?
Brink of death, and Doc brought me back.
Ah, well, at
And
least you
Mick
weren't dead.
stabilized. No, I'm pretty sure if I was dead, you'd definitely notice, and so would Gramps and Grumble.
Yeah. They would kick me across the continent.
I would enjoy. I want to see that.
I'm
Even
sure
though I guess I would have been dead.
I'm sure that best friend of yours in your mind space will help you with that.
True. He'd have to deal with me. I kind of feel bad.
Don't worry, if you kill him first, he won't have to.
True.
Anyways, where the hell is your friend?
I think he's at the other smoke spot, and if we don't find him there, then I have no idea, because I don't think he would have gone back to Grumble's.
Oh. He starts looking around. Other smoke spot.
That's what he said, so
So, how's the fire? He just kind of like turns back to the fire, ignoring the rest of the sky. Ah. Kind of warm.
I mean, it's a nice fire. It's crazy to see it like this when I was just in it not that long ago.
Yeah. That's a terrifying thought. He turns around with you and starts walking towards the entrance.
I'm sorry.
Ah, it's fine. Gonna find your friend, gonna pull you down, make it so you rest for once, you know. You don't rest for me, you rest for him.
I waited for you.
Yes, but did you sleep?
I did some nights. Kinda. Does an hour count?
No, I'm correct. He just keeps walking with you. That same banter just keeps continuing before he finally reaches the, I assume he reaches the camp. He's like, alright, time for you to get your beauty rest. Well, rest.
I don't want to. You might leave again.
Ah, be fine. I ain't going nowhere.
Promise? Because you keep leaving every time I do.
Fine. He kind of grabs your pinky with his. I pinky promise I will not leave until I tell you. How about that?
Doesn't feel serious, but okay.
All right. He like picks you up bridal style and like sets you down onto like a sleeping bag. Cool. So Mick, you got her? I'm going to check up on the town. You got she good? She Gucci?
Mick is out of town,
See,
far
this
away.
is what I thought.
I thought
Oh,
he just
so he
came
set
to
up camp and left.
Yeah, I set up camp outside of town.
Oh yeah, he went out of town to find you.
Oh, I missed that. I was too absorbed in our word game.
You're good. Oh.
Thank you kindly.
Alright, cool.
Make
He's
sure
got
she
you. You got her. Yeah, make sure she doesn't move too much. If she starts climbing that wall, I would say
Look,
beat her
even
with
in her
a stick.
injured
But...
state, I'm pretty sure she can kick my ass, so I ain't making her do shit.
True. He can't stop me,
Ellie, don't kill the poor man who's just trying to help you.
says the poor man that left me so many times and is leaving again.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going back to the
I'm
town
sorry,
and make sure it's
I
not
don't
a
have
rampage.
anything reassuring.
He
I don't
kind of like
have
pulls
anything
out, he like
to-
grabs his second dagger and hands it to
Oh
you.
my god, have you two just been flirting for the last 2 hours?
Flirting.
I'll have you know that I have wooed this woman for years.
Kill me now, please. Listen, don't listen to him, Ellie. Just kill me. I know he's trying. I know he's trying to spare me, but I'm not worth it. Just one good hit right here, and I'm gonna point to my temple. Hard as you can.
Ellie just taps his temple. There you go. I thought
Shaky's
you
gonna dramatically fall over. Dramatically fall over dead.
I'm confused. You were crying over what did you call it? A smut book?
Listen, I'm a bard. I love good stories. I love romance. This is you two talking in circles for hours, and quite frankly, not here for it. Plus, I'm dead now. Blarg.
Well, if only you knew how much I cared for him and understood.
He has a very strange sense of humor, and I like it. He like just kind of drops his second knife on your chest. There you go. All right.
Ow.
Does the blade strike first?
The sheathed part does. Just kind of slaps you in the chest, which yeah probably does hurt a lot.
Wait, is it going to Ellie or
You.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that
Because you
hurts.
say you didn't have anything of his, so he dropped his other knife into your hands. Well, not into your chest. You didn't catch it.
Ow. Don't you need this?
Now I have another one. Besides, you and him need to have some catch-up time. Which namely means you sleeping.
About to say.
You two folks have fun. He's gonna start shimmying his way out with like finger guns towards both of you.
Yeah,
No?
whatever. Anyway.
No? Okay.
No.
Hey, he kind of just yeets himself into the town.
Shaky, are you actually dead? Or are you just wanting to be?
Blarg.
Okay. I will just try to sleep then, but I don't think I will.
You see, Shaky reads smut books for the plot, the greatest plot. That plot series don't continue.
Hey, smut books is a lot better than real romance. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know, fair.
Like you find a good romance novel, it is way better than any real life romance.
That is sadly
Yeah.
fair. Quit trying to fight these monsters. I expect you to do so. Oh, that is amazing. That is beautiful. All right. So you two,
I love that.
You two take some rest times. A couple hours go by. I assume, Oliver, you eventually head back to?
Indeed. I assume I probably heard the conversation. No, I guess as we technically approached Ellie at different times.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I probably would have made my way back towards where I remember the old camp was that we used the previous night.
Nice, nice.
I just assume that that's going to be where everyone is. Whether or not that's actually where Shaky headed up for that night.
It probably is. Shaky?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep, you do find your way back. You also see like a tiny bird that's just kind of, it's not bird crow, not big bird crow. No, it's a smaller version of bird crow. It's
Oh, no.
actually a robin who's just kind of sitting there staring at Ellie. Mostly are closed eyes at the moment.
Is it waiting for me to wake up, I'm guessing?
Yeah. It has a letter in its mouth. Slowly kind of like looks at Oliver as he comes in, and then continues to look at Ellie.
You know, I'm just going to actually get out the sickle, get some seeds, and see about feeding it.
Cool. It kind of like looks at you as you're handing it some seeds, and it just kind of like drops.
Handing them? I'm straight up tossing it on the ground in front of it.
Oh, that works better. It just kind of like drops the layer down and then starts pecking violently at the seeds. It's like a firecracker.
I'm gonna make a slow move for the letter, and I'm going to place it next to Ellie,
Cool.
assuming the bird will let me do that.
Oh yeah. The layer just kind of puts down Ellie. It like after it eats all the seeds, kind of like looks up, looks at the layer, looks back at you, looks at Ellie, and then yeets itself away. It's actually remarkably fast for such a tiny bird. Whew.
I'm just gonna chuckle, admiring it until it's past the tree line, and then go and get started on my daily potions.
Nice.
Or well, I'm going to convert my one dosage of healing potion regens into a healing potion, as well as make my daily elixirs. Assuming this is going to be where we long rest.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine so, yeah. Alright.
Alrighty then. I'll start running through my nightly processes then.
Nice.
You'll take
I'd
a
like
very...
to. I'd like to. I'd like to do something before the long rest, if I could.
Sure.
Is Ellie still awake? I'm assuming Shaky woke up because pain and couldn't sleep.
I
I would
mean,
imagine.
she might have woken up to the bird pecking close to her.
That'll do.
Yeah.
I've still got half a bottle of bubbly from our patron, I suppose. Our has 1,000 jobs and is probably multi-classed patron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hand the bottle to Ellie and I'm gonna say, doctor's orders, I guess. Want to continue where we left off?
I'm really certain a certain someone would be very pissed if I drank too much, but I'll have a swig.
I'm fairly certain that a certain someone's got more things on their mind. I'm gonna gesture to Doc, assuming that's who you're talking about.
I mean, yes, and Jackson, Ellie whispers.
What? You trying to be sober for Jackson? I don't think Jackson cares either.
No, me being drunk around him causes trouble, so.
Well, fortunately, you got Doc and I to break it up.
I mean, I could try making a mocktail, I suppose. I wouldn't wager that it would require too many different tools than what I'm using right now.
It should
I
be
don't
fine.
know what a mocktail is, but it sounds delicious. Doc, you break out the vials. Let's do it.
It's kind of like a cocktail, except not non-alcoholic.
I should be fine. Just a couple swigs will be fine.
Nah. Let's do Doc's suggestion. Doc, what do you got?
That
I'd
works.
have to try and make some. I don't exactly have any on me at the moment. Unless you still want this. I just say, hey, pulling out the ghost ale that he gave me a few nights ago. It's not a mocktail, but
Is that the same one we got from Greytown that we attempted to that
I
you
believe
stole?
so, yeah.
it is indeed. I've been
I
using.
like.
I needed a little bit for a concoction I'd been working on. Not exactly as effective as I'd been hoping, but seems to work.
How about this? Ellie, since you're recovering and you seem to care so much about what your boyfriend thinks of you, why don't you drink the bubbly? It's only half a bottle and it's not that alcoholic. And then Doc and I'll share the, I forgot what it was called, ghost ale, ghost liquor, phantom,
I didn't not
mead,
even write this down. I don't know what this is.
specter wine,
Well, we'll call it Spectre Spirits.
banshee whiskey,
You know what? That's a better one.
seraph, uh, Scotch. Do we have a Scotland in this fantasy world? Is Scotch a thing? What about port? Do we have a Portland? Portugal, I think.
If we're actually gonna do this, then I'd prefer her to quickly finish off these concoctions before we do this, because this sounds like the sort of thing that could end up with a misplaced mixture.
Oh no.
Let's do it. We'll drink to celebrate our victory.
I like that idea.
You know, fair.
If nothing else, let me at least finish off this health potion. I do not want to spill any of these things.
What if you put some alcohol in it? Would that make it
Oh
stronger?
god.
Probably not, but he might get drunk if you tried it.
I mean, it
Would,
numbs the pain.
Would the alcohol stabilize the ingredients? That's what you sound like sometimes.
I really hate that this is making me actually consider this.
I will say that alcohol definitely helps numb the pain.
I will say though, if I do wind up doing this, I'm testing this on myself. I'm not handing this out until I'm certain it's safe.
Oh, okay.
Doc, you know, my mom always told me if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the precipitate.
True, but if I wind up giving somebody poison, I'm going to get blamed for that. And there's the potential of making a body.
Well,
I'll hand Ellie the half bottle of bubbly.
Nice.
I think I can handle this right now. I don't think my organs will complain too much.
I am going to send to player. Eleonora. Send. Okay, first time trying that.
Hey.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm certain your organs will have some troubles with it, but I don't think you'll feel it.
Nope.
It's fine. You've done much worse to them today.
True.
But yeah, so Oliver finishes up his several concoctions, and y'all just kind of sit down around the fire. The sky above you is slowly darkening. You can see some like the tree branches starting to spread a little bit, as weird as that sounds. As they just kind of very slowly start to grow. And so right directly above you is starting to darken ever so slightly. There's also some clouds that are moving in, which are also causing a little bit of overshadow, as the fire is starting to kind of take away a little bit.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't rain.
Who wants to play a drinking game?
Nope. Learned my lesson. That got me a hangover that was way worse than Char, so I'm good. No thank you.
You got maybe a quarter alcohol now than you did that day? Probably less. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm back to my old self, and you guys haven't met this version of me, so I don't think you guys can handle me.
Listen, as someone who wears many masks and has many selves, I don't for one fucking second believe in an old self or a true self.
Fair.
If it is a potential concern, I did actually find the last couple of ingredients necessary for a, let's just say it's a lesser cure-all, which should easily handle a hangover.
All right.
Though unfortunately I only have enough materials to make 2 of these things tonight.
I'll kindly refrain from drinking your cure-all. I've already got my own.
Oh,
I have to
God.
say,
That would
Alright.
kill me.
You two ever play Three Finger?
Oh, what?
nope. That
So-
sounds weird.
Yeah, I'm not the person who named it.
Okay, sure.
It's like Five Finger, all right. Except, well, when you play it, you only get 3 fingers. Here's how it works: you tell somebody something. You know what? Nah, let's play Never Have I Ever.
Oh no.
I think y'all know the rules to this one.
Unfortunately, yes.
I knew you weren't a straight arrow, Doc.
I kinda remember, but this is why I'm not allowed to drink. At least one of
catch
the
on,
reasons.
You'll catch on quick enough. Alright. Never have I ever used my real name in front of present company. And I'll take a swig.
Oh.
I will not take a swig.
Ellie?
Still confused.
Basically,
My brain's zoned out.
Basically, you say, and never have I ever, you say essentially something that you have never done, and then everyone else at the table has to take a swig or do a specified action that matches them if they also have not done it. And then they move on to the next person who runs through the same process. And
So,
the-
who hasn't told their actual name?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so if you've never used your real name in front of us, you have to take a drink.
Well, then,
The way the
Yeah,
game sometimes
never mind, I
works,
won't drink.
It depends who you're playing with.
My
Sometimes
brain's not
you drink
here.
if you have done it. Sometimes you drink if you haven't. Depends who
Yeah.
you're playing with. I think the more common one is you drink when you have, but I've always liked drinking when you haven't more. It's just more fun.
Mm-hmm.
okay, that definitely helps clear it up. I'm like, wait a second.
Okay. So only Shaky drinks, which means that Shaky has never told you guys his real name.
Not once.
I mean, yeah.
Let's go counterclockwise. Doc?
crap, I'm legitimately in real life trying to think of something.
Doc is just sitting there with like the bubble. He's just like, hmm. I'm too good of a person for this.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but it's just like, oh, but if I use that one, that's going to sound like I'm straight up insulting somebody.
Hey, Rowena's not here. It's fine. What you got for me, my friend?
Never have I ever had training with an instrument. Takes a swig.
I guess I take a swig.
Nah, do you mean formal training?
I mean any kind of training. This thing I picked up and tried to learn to play on my own, Honey says, pulling out the flute. And I think I think the one and only time you actually saw me use it tells you how well I learned.
Fair enough. I won't drink.
Oh. Passes to Ellie.
Never have I ever used disguise self.
I don't think either of us take a swig because I'm fairly certain we both already have.
Yeah. Wait, I think I got it confused again.
Do you
It's
wanna
like,
do
wait,
it
I haven't done that either.
Do you want to do it the traditional way? You drink if you have done it?
I mean, that would definitely not. That would definitely be less confusing.
Alright. I'll take a drink. We'll
I guess
retcon
I'll-
everything so that we drank when we didn't drink and we didn't drink when we did drink. It makes perfect
Cool.
sense.
They'll
Okay,
understand in
I will
post.
take
It's
a
fine.
I'll bet the Twitch chat is loving this.
They're like, huh, which one are they doing? It'll be fine. Check out our podcast and our book when we make it. That will explain everything.
Alright. Never have I ever ridden a horse.
Nope.
I guess. Question: do we count sitting in a wagon that is being carried by a horse?
I don't think so. I don't think that counts as riding a horse.
Fair enough. I do not take a swig.
I have not, so.
Shaky drinking all the time. Okay. Alright, did you take a drink, Shaky?
Nope.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
I've never ridden a horse.
New information. Alright, Oliver. What do you got, my friend?
My gosh, why is my mind as slow as it is?
What do you think Leon has done?
See,
Never
I
have
already...
Oh.
Never have I ever had personal contact with a tiefling.
So that's...
Never mind, that's cheating. That's so cheating.
Wait a second.
No one's gonna drink.
Oliver's just staring at both of you as like, wait.
You know what? I'm gonna take a swig in protest because I disagree with your question.
Uh,
Oh, that's great.
just like, oh, everything I can think about asking is just something that we've done since the campaign started.
Never have I ever
thought of
escaped
one.
from jail.
Nope.
All right. Think you're up, Ellie.
I believe so. Never have I ever... Oh, wait, that still counts for me. Never have I ever been away from the place I was mostly raised at for more than a month.
Nope.
Wait, I missed that. What was that?
Basically saying that you've been away from home
For
for more than a month. Where Ellie has only been away for about a week and a half.
I believe, unless you've left town during your childhood, I don't think you would drink that, Oliver.
Yeah, I would not.
I'm not drinking either.
Oh? Oh, that's
All right.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all just learned
All right.
something.
Wait a second.
Mm,
Let me look at my
never
sticky
have
notes.
I ever accidentally killed one of my patients.
Oh.
Nope.
And the worst
Unconsciousness? Wait,
and the
no, they're
worst,
still not dead.
and the worst part is I probably would have in the time I've been at this. Dang it!
You
Oh.
probably killed at least one
Let's
person.
be real. Let's be real. Literally, anyone whose responsibility to save lives has probably failed that objective at least once. Let's
Yeah.
be
True.
real.
Yeah, and you work with diseases too, so
I
you would definitely take a swig at that.
I just shamefully. I just shamefully
Ah.
take a drink.
Called it. And to think I let you experiment on me with your wild concoction stock.
If they think that those are random wild experimentation, I've made sure that all the ingredients were non-harmful, and I actually tested the ones on myself that I wasn't certain of.
About to say, I'm pretty sure you enjoyed being invisible, Shaky.
Let me give the doc a hard time, please. In the spirit of the
Alright.
game. I think it's your turn, Doc.
Never have I ever committed a crime.
Ooh.
God damn it! I'm gonna
Not to my knowledge.
That'll be
I'm
both
gonna
of you
take a
drinking.
long drink.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Figured as much.
You would have
Figured
to
as much,
ask
he
him to
says,
specify if you
not
don't
even-
want to drink.
barely even opening his eyes.
Well, I can't even think of something Ellie has done that would be considered a crime.
You have stolen, you've broken in, you've burned out the people's property, drunk underage.
Fair. I'm not underage.
You
oh wait,
were when you
yeah.
first started.
Yeah, that's right. The tavern. Fair enough.
But those were never technically laws, so you never committed technically a crime unless you have them specify. If you don't have them specify, you have to drink. If you do, you technically don't, depending on how you specify.
Good thing Jackson's not around.
So you either drink or you have them specify, and depending on how he specifies it, then you drink or not. Which one are you gonna do?
I'll drink because I've created a couple craters in my attacks.
You've also viciously, attacked Leon several times.
He
It's
had
called
it
assault.
coming.
I didn't press charges.
Alright, Ellie, your
Oh.
turn.
Never have I ever had a hunter's mark on me.
Take a swig.
Nice one.
I think you've had one on you too, Shaky.
Have I? All
We're-
right, I'll take a swig.
I'm the only one that has yet to have it.
You know what? I'm calling that racism. I'm just saying it like it is. Don't worry, Doc. I'm with you. Us humies gotta stick together.
Kind of Hume, he says, looking down at his red head arm.
Yeah, close enough.
Brothers in arms.
Alright. Ooh, I got a good one. So I've decided my mission is to try to get the doc drunk. Never
Alright.
have I ever accidentally hurt myself by sitting on my tail.
Oh.
Again, and just hand to his face, take a swig.
Oh.
Oh, right for the gut.
How much bubbly you got left there, Ellie?
About a fourth left. And I'm gonna stop at that.
Alright, one more round.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Alright. It's the last one, you two. Show me what you got.
Never have I ever left his island.
Ooh.
Nope.
Or
Ooh.
never have I ever been off the island. Sorry.
Shaky. Shaky.
I'm not gonna drink.
Oh.
Ooh.
Sticky notes.
Alright,
He gives a slightly surprised glance because, remember, he believed the story.
he did. He believed it wholeheartedly. Alright, Ellie, last one. What would you like old Shaky to say?
Never have I ever been all over the continent.
I will take a swig.
Ooh.
I have been all over the continent. That one was not a lie.
Alright.
I have not been in most of the dark lands or most of the light lands, so I have not been in most of the continent either. Or, no. I guess we technically would have all done it together. Wouldn't we
You've been to one section of Helios, one section of Cataclysm. Same with Ellie.
So that would be a no.
But yeah, you and Ellie would not drink, but Leon did.
Nope. Ellie especially, no. She did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, you guys learned a lot today.
You,
Did we
you
really?
can keep the last quarter of that, Ellie.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
So do we need to roll like some sort of save or something to determine how drunk we got?
Ellie, no. Oliver, I will have you roll a con save.
You mind if I take that too, since I did
I
take a few
fail.
big swigs in there?
Yeah, you take it too, Leon.
Woo!
I fail.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Drunk boys!
There goes my nurses.
Yeah, you two both
Remember
took
what I
a lot
said
of
last
swings.
night? I have the materials for a cure-all for this.
That is
But
true.
can
I can. It's a spell. It's technically a spell.
Yeah, yeah.
Lesser restoration?
Nope.
I'm gonna stick to my hangover remedy, thank you.
Shaky's having a fun time. Oliver, I think this might be one of the only times your character will have ever properly have gotten drunk.
Yep.
You're welcome, Doc. You're
Oh,
welcome.
we're breaking him in.
A pirate's life for me. Yo ho.
I don't feel so good. Gotta go lay down.
Ellie carefully reaches over and offers a high five to Shaky.
just-
Other hand, that's your bad shoulder.
Oh, that's right. And switches arms.
Nah,
just
moments
drowse.
passed, and then
I
I'll
just
walk
dr-
away.
I just drowsily. He just wandered towards my bedroll and just flop onto it.
All right, I take it back. I'll meet the high five if it's still offered.
Yep, still there.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. All right. The night or night-ish passes without too much more instant as you guys are slowly recovering. Shaky, you're one hell of a nasty headache. I assume Oliver, the moment you wake up, you're like, oh god, hangover cure.
I'm gonna search around for a bird's nest and get some eggs.
Oh.
And a bone if I can.
Oh.
A boat? Are you gonna cast augury or something?
Nope, I'm making a hangover remedy.
Oh,
no.
god.
I mean, technically, you already have the skull.
No, the skull stays. I will not touch that beautiful skull. Yorick will not be damaged under my care.
Aww.
Also, then in addition to creating my experimental elixir, I'm going to burn a first level spell slot to make another dosage of elixir of flight.
Nice. That was very useful. Yeah, so, while Shaky makes his, interesting concoction, Oliver makes his also very interesting concoctions. And yeah, Ellie, you slowly wake up. Pain is a constant at the moment, but you're at least feeling a little bit better. And you do see the paper in front of you. It's technically there earlier, but yeah, y'all were drinking, so.
Did not notice.
100% you did not notice in the slightest. But yeah, you wake up and you see the paper. This is just kind of there.
Is this one of your guys' letters? Or...
Would you believe me if I told you I don't know how to read or write?
I just assume that Oliver is just still face down due to hangover. Just still isn't up yet.
I guess it's to me then? And I'll just pick up the letter and... Does it say who it's from?
Yeah, it says from Rowena to Ellie.
Okay, so it is to me.
Do you want me to play it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like I don't remember. I remember some of it, but
Yeah, it's in the
Ellie,
campaign.
can you
chat.
read it to us, but make your voice sound exactly like Rowena's?
no.
Well,
I'm not that
we'll,
good.
We'll read it in her with her voice now. All right, here we go. It's in the campaign chat. So 3, 2, 1.
My dearest sister, Ellie, I believe you may know that I received some mail via Crow after the big battle. When we were traveling to your childhood home, I sent word to my superiors in the Citadel of what I had found out in the Cataclysm. Well, not everything, but that's for a different conversation. I have received word back from those superiors to return at once to the Citadel for my next assignment. I intend to do so, but I would also like to let it be known that I am scouting ahead for a safe passage for you guys as well. If you so choose to come along, I don't want to be, assuming anything. Anyway, I will leave one of my arrows in a tree, pinning a piece of a pelt I acquired to it, and under the pelt piece will be a carved arrow of the best direction to travel in, according to me, your friendly neighborhood scout. I'll wait at the edge of the forest that surrounds the Citadel. Don't worry, you can't miss when it starts. I'll be there each evening at the end of the path I left for you guys. Cheerio! Rowena. Oh, also, please make sure the boys don't get into any more trouble. I feel like I could trust you more with this task than either of them. You know, one being a tiefling, the other... Well, he's a character. Oh, one more thing. If that person you saw that one time, you know, that dude, if that person hurts you, let me know. I know a thing or two if revenge is something you want. I look after my family. Right. Off I go.
Oh.
My heart.
So, what do y'all think of my Rowena impression?
Does he have to roll a performance for that?
No, I have the actor's feet. I can mimic anyone's voice.
He can.
Oh,
Please
God.
no. Please no. No.
What you just
No.
heard was
No.
amazing.
No.
That was slightly unnerving. He just said, no, wait, I'm still out cold. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Would it feel better if I disguised myself first?
No. No. Don't do it.
You know,
Oh,
should
it's-
I take umbrage about the her trusting you to look after us thing? I mean, no, you're right. She was right. She's right about that.
Yes, trust the most injured one to watch over you two. Makes the most sense.
I would say, Oliver, you probably were like half awake when he started it, and it just sounded like Rowena was talking.
Oh my gosh. That is really so good at disguises.
I'm gonna hand half of my unfinished hangover remedy to Doc.
Oh
Be like,
God.
Doc, want a sip?
Does he still sound like Rowena?
No, darling. I don't sound anything like Rowena.
Oh no. That's poison, isn't it? He just mutters under his breath.
Actually, yeah, poison's one of the ingredients.
You know what? I think I'll just take care of myself with this one.
You're
You
lost. I'm
okay?
gonna take the last swig.
Just give me a minute. He just has the clear color. Concoction, and he has laid on the ground right next to him, and before chugging it,
It tastes like strawberries.
I cast Lesser Restoration, and I'm going to trigger the negate poison, because intoxication is apparently considered a poison.
Technically,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, you taste like strawberries, and you feel much better now. I
Yeah,
guarantee you it's a
that's
better
better.
taste than what Snow has.
That's better. Look
Probably
over.
more effective too. I'm willing to bet my remedy is mostly like in the brain, like just. But
Yeah.
like he probably, what happened is probably someone told him it works. He believed them, and it's all in his head.
I feel so much better now.
That's better. And just looks over. She's like, "Wait. Oh,
Good morning.
Well,
Yeah.
Potts, Rowena left you in charge, so what's on the agenda today, boss?
I do not want to be in charge, to say the least.
Well, this ain't a
But
democracy, boss. You were clearly left in charge.
I'm really certain that was a bad idea. But eventually we do have to make our way to the Citadel, sadly enough.
You're telling me I'm fairly certain I'm gonna get shot from a mile away.
Yeah, do we get
No,
hazard pay? Do we get hazard pay?
I have no idea. Because I'm kind of scared too.
Doc, we
Well, if
need
you're
to unionize.
it would seem so. But before that, I just look back to Herzelli. If you're really planning on getting up and moving, I'm going to enter the elixir of flight.
Hold on, before we
Smart.
do anything, I'm gonna hold out a bag of coins. This was our pay for everything we did back there.
Oh,
Do we
wow.
want to divvy it up now? I'm just gonna shake it at Jingles.
Is a hefty bag. 160
I mean,
gold
it'd
pieces in
probably
total.
it'd probably be good for us to stock up before we go anyways.
All right, so I already counted it as 160 in there.
So 40 for each. About.
I was
Sounds
thinking
right.
maybe I was actually thinking what if we divided it 5 ways? 30
5
each,
ways?
and we put the remainder into a party pool.
I mean, that works.
Sounds reasonable enough, but do we have a container for that? Okay, never mind. That's a
Yeah,
dumb question.
I'm gonna jingle the bag. Yeah, I do.
Do you have a
So,
bag for the
yeah.
bag of coins?
Everybody can add 30. So
Okay.
that should leave, if I'm doing my math right, that should leave, because 30 be 120 total.
Yep.
That should leave 40 left for the party pool.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep, yep.
Did I do my math right?
That was right, yeah.
Sounds right, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna leave the 40 gold for the party and the 30 gold in the bag because Rowena isn't here.
Okay.
So I'm
Should
gonna
leave
leave
about
the
70 in the
70
pool.
gold in the bag, and I'm just gonna toss the 70 gold bag to Ellie. There you go, boss. You're in charge of it.
Oh, thank you. All right.
I'll put it into your inventory, Ellie.
So. Oh, I don't know. I don't like being leader. Also, personally, not ready to leave, but nonetheless, we still need to head that way. So. I guess let's try to make our way to town, gather up some things, make sure folks are good and whatnot before we head that way. Do we want to travel by dark or...
There's actually a dark in the light side?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
traveling by dark ain't
yeah.
exactly an option.
Traveling by
It's
by
like
twilight.
this far west, you still get a little bit of that, but not much.
Fair enough.
Ellie's just kind of staring at the group.
Yeah, I don't like being leader.
It's like, ah,
Nope.
travel
I
by
am in too
twilight.
much pain.
Well, if it's just going to be a situation to continue moving, perhaps we might be better off remaining here for a little bit, while the town still seems relatively stable.
Look,
Yeah.
bunch of people there against their will. That town's about to fall apart, and I don't want to be anywhere near it when it does.
I just think it could be an interesting time to go pick up a few potential regens and such.
Telling you right now, it's gonna be chaos. The people who want to leave, they're gonna be rioting for supplies to make their way out. The people who want to stay, they're gonna be trying to hoard supplies because they're gonna want to keep it to rebuild the town.
I see your point, but this is all I have left for the road. I just simply say holding up a singular health potion.
I
No,
mean, we can
this is all I
look
got for the road.
or... We can at least take a peek. Or we can make the long trip back to Littlefoot Forest and see if we can get something there. Or maybe there'll be something on our way to the Citadel, but either way, we need supplies.
Well, boss, I suppose the call's yours. We got options. We got the town. We got your home. We got heading straight to the Citadel.
Oh yeah, so something else on that topic. I say, handing her the cane.
Oh, thanks. It'll be kind of hard to carry with. Well, hopefully we don't go into battle, or else I'm gonna have to use a cane
Oh
and a
wait,
fry
that's right.
pan.
It's her arm that's messed up, not her leg.
Yeah,
I mean, only one of her arms is messed up.
yeah, it's my non-dominant arm.
I'll take the
Okay,
cane.
so-
I've always wanted a cane. It'd go great with an old guy disguise.
Sure. Am I safe in the assumption that this thing would probably be a quarterstaff, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it'll probably be effectively a core staff.
Okay,
I'm
I'm just
adding
gonna.
a quarterstaff to my inventory.
That work. Yeah. So Ellie, y'all could go directly on the path. You guys see the first marking that the first arrow that Rowena laid in probably a tree about 20, 30 some feet away from camp. It's a very small tree. So you can either follow that path, you can go directly back to Littlefoot Forest, you can go directly into town. Which would you like to do? Be hilarious if you just vanished away from Jackson again.
No. It would be, but
So what would you like to do?
I'd say pop into town just to peek at things and maybe find supplies. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I want to go back to Littlefoot Forest, just a quick little once over, I don't know if we'll have time to because it's already almost 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I don't like being leader. No.
I mean, we could just call it here and then just say, hey, next episode's like a shopping episode and just have us all divide and conquer.
Yeah.
The only thing I will buy is more smut. We do not want that.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
I could probably stand to buy some more rations.
Speaking of, I didn't write off one for last night. I should go do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ellie,
Wait,
where
my rations got reset as well. How?
Oh yeah, no, my rations, my gold, everything got reset. I'm like the crossbow bolts, everything.
Yeah. I thought I did your crossbow bolts right, but oh, you do have 13. Cool. Oh, I figured out the issue with the bows and crossbows and whatnot. It didn't, for some reason, Foundry just didn't like automatically removing the arrow alongside shooting. So if you just change that to blank instead of crossbow bolt, it'll shoot normally. For some
that's a-
ungodly reason.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That feature was so nice.
It really was. It was super nice. I think it's because like they updated it, but that was like one of the things that might have gotten broken as they moved to like the new edition of Foundry or something, and Plutonium just couldn't keep up or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it should work now. I tested it a few times. But yeah, do you want to peek in
I
there?
like how you took the time to move over my temp items too. They'll serve an important purpose.
You know, I figured they did, so I was like, I'll move them. He has them for a reason. But yeah, so Ellie, do you want peek in there? What do you want?
I'd say peek in there.
Okay.
And if push comes to shove, don't find any supplies, maybe pop to Littlefoot Forest and then make our way back.
Okay.
Because I'd rather be prepared just in case, especially since I'm crippled.
Fair.
And it's quite the ways to the Citadel where we're at. So,
All right. So y'all start making your way into the town. I assume Shaky following hesitantly, maybe.
Gonna re-up disguise self. We're gonna look like Mick again. Because I'm Mick to this town and always will be.
Nice. So y'all start working.
walking-ish.
Walking in.
Walking.
You do in fact see, especially since it's been
Oh
about
wait,
8.
I didn't use disguise self in this town. Yeah,
No,
never
yeah.
mind.
I mean, you still look like Mick. Just
I'm still
Mick
Mick
is
to
you.
them, yeah.
But yeah, so you guys walk into the town. You do see after it's been about 8-9 hours. Most of the people have started to kind of get their senses about them. There are actually 3 distinct parties that you can see. One appears to just kind of be sitting outside of houses, kind of looking depressed or just like kind of not interacting with anything. One of them, which seems to be mostly made up of a couple of dragonborns, a couple of orcs. There's oddly enough one gnome in there, and then a couple of humans as well. Seems to be kind of annoyed. They're trying to stock up on provisions, it seems. And then the last group seems to be headed by the man Arthur that you guys saw before, as well as Jackson. Arthur, however, you guys are seeing in his full plate armor with a golden mace that's hanging at his side rather than his hands. His armor actually looks like it's almost you know how, like, glaciers, when you look at them, they seem to like almost kind of shift a little bit just because the cold and the general form. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like almost moving glaciers on his arm, which are fairly certain is a optic illusion, but who knows? Magic world, it could be anything. He also has a spiked shield on his back, but it's kind of hard to see that from your guys' angle. But he does seem to be standing there. His helmet, though, is off and on his belt, which you assume is possibly, I don't know, a peace gesture from people who wear full armor. Who knows? But he seems to be kind of standing in front of the third crowd, and they're not super antsy. They're just like, they look almost concerned, as he's just trying to, like, make it so they don't fight. Jackson, on the other hand, is just constantly walking back and forth from one group to the other. Sometimes he's giving them provisions, sometimes he's moving provisions, sometimes he's he looks very tired. He's probably been at this for hours now. As you guys walk in.
Boss, I want to steal that helmet.
I don't know if you should. I'd recommend not.
Dang it. All right, you're the boss.
He's
What do you mean?
bigger
partner?
than you, Shaky.
What do you mean, partner? It seems like I could be a lot more proficient and a lot less likely to cause some sort of uproar if you were to buy it off of him instead.
And
I mean-
I'm more charming than him. Being big ain't everything.
As amusing as it would be to see you try, I don't think you should. I have this feeling you really shouldn't.
All right.
You guys walk in past the front gates, air quote.
Well, it definitely looks busy. So, do we want to stick together and try to find something, or is there something you guys want to look at?
I have an idea, though I'm not certain if anyone in here is going to have something like this.
Oh.
Well,
Alright.
a couple things like this. But then again, and I'm just looking for my own things at this point, and not certain it's really going to prove too much of value to the rest of the party.
Well,
Well, let's hear it.
whatever works. We just need something, at least.
You know how I was able to cause that burst of fire, as well as the door to swing open and shut, fires to brighten and darken, and all that jazz?
Yes.
Well, last night, shortly after we took care of those guys, I've been feeling another effect brewing around me, but I think it's going to require a couple of items to try bring it out and see what it does.
Alright, well, you're more than welcome to look around. I just mostly want to make sure we're well prepared before we head out, since we're down a person and we're still recovering from the big battle, so.
You got it, boss. I'll go and procure some trail rations. I'm gonna dart off into town.
Okay.
Be careful.
And while I'm at it, let me see if I can find some regens to make some more healing potions. We're gonna need some if we're going anywhere, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, Shaky, you kind of like run to town looking at them.
Okay, I got a plan. I'm not going to any store.
Okay.
So everybody was brainwashed and in families that weren't theirs, which means everybody was housed up in homes that weren't theirs, which means now that everybody's got their wits about them, there's a lot of restructuring going on in the town. Where people are sleeping is changing. You know, where people are storing their goods is changing. Which is to say, there's probably a couple of abandoned houses.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to find a house that doesn't look like it is currently occupied by anybody, especially since everybody in town seems to sort of be in the town square with Mr. Armor and Ellie's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean,
Fair.
it's not their stuff to begin with, you know.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is true.
And I'm gonna go inside the first house I can, and I'm going to do two things. One,
Okay.
I am going to search around for something to refill my flask, because my flask is almost empty. And two, I am going to try to find some dry goods, any sort of food that'll hold, jerky, grains, something I can take with us on the trail for rations.
Okay. Let's see. Finding something to fill up your flask probably won't be that difficult. At least I cannot imagine it. So, yeah, I think that would probably have been just something they might have carried with them, or they have had. I'm certain there would be some. And the second thing you said was some kind of container?
No, I'm looking for any dry goods, any food.
Oh,
that'll
okay.
hold.
Yeah, dry goods.
Jerky,
There would absolutely be
jerky,
some.
milled grains. Yeah.
Yeah. You absolutely would find a couple rations in there. This building specifically, it looks like there were. You probably moved past a couple of the more depressed folks who were kind of like in from the building to some degree. They didn't seem to even notice you, honestly, as you were walking into the town or walking into the building. And several floors up, a couple abandoned rooms, a couple doors that were just like not quite swung all the way open, but like kind of like ajar, basically. Just looks like somebody hasn't been there for probably the span of your guys' sleepings. There's some foods in some cabinet areas, random jerkies, random provisions of all shapes and sizes, a
Gotta
couple of
get me
drinks.
some nuts.
Lots of nuts, a lot of crackers too. General
Ooh,
rations and stuff.
are we talking like twice baked crackers, like things that'll really last, like hardtack?
Gotta get all the stuff.
Got some of that good
Because
crackers.
I'm not dumb enough to just take bread with me. I know that's gonna mold in a day.
Yeah, there's probably like equivalent of like Ritz crackers, equivalent of like saltines, and like a couple other like really baked crackers as well. Not super flavorful, but it'll do the job.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Alright.
we're here for, so.
So I'm trying to get enough food for 3 people. So how many days rations did I get?
Let's see. Probably would have invested that spot. Probably would have been the main one that you would have gotten. I would say, based on the fact that you went up several floors, probably about 3 days rations for 3 people, I would say.
So 9 days rations total then.
Yeah,
correct?
9-day rations, so.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ellie, you're just kind of walking in the middle of town, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Also, did I find any gold?
Very important.
Uh,
Taking a note from Rurina.
I would say you probably found like 3 silver and 2 copper.
Beautiful. All right, I'm done now. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so Ellie, you walk kind of into the middle of town. Oliver, I'm assuming you're kind of walking with her and looking around the area and stuff like that.
Indeed, I am going to be particularly looking for any sort of location that's housing herbs or or some sort of magic shop on the side as well.
There does appear to be a flower shop, which also has a bunch of herbs in it. Doesn't look like anybody's using it or even thinking of it as rations. So I would say that probably has quite a few.
I'm not
of the
looking for
plants in one.
rations, Sin. I'm looking for
Sorry, not
reagents for-
rations. Supplies. They're not using it for supplies or anything like that. Unlike they would with the grocery store, for example, which, as you can see, is pretty much completely just sacked.
And the entire building is just abandoned, basically.
More or less, yeah. It turns out not a lot of people see flowers as very useful, or most herbs. At least not in this town. At least not in their current mindset. The herbs are not their forefront of mindset.
Can
I
I
mean-
can I run through the materials to see if I can find potion regens?
You're more than welcome to. There would probably be enough to give you like 3, maybe 4.
Is that a run a survival check and see, or
Yeah, I'll run my survival check and see. Either 3 or 4. That would be a 4. Actually,
Alright.
that was high. We'll go with a 5 for that. You found enough to make you 5 potions with time to craft them. And then probably you found a bunch of other random assortments of herbs and stuff that you've never even seen before, honestly. Some kind of vibrant, some a little bit dull. You probably wouldn't know what most of this stuff does, honestly.
in other words, probably don't want to snag it.
It's possible. I mean, they were, more or less selling it or just kind of showing off, so most likely nothing in there is dangerous.
I see your
Could
point.
have
So
the librarian look at it later.
Could have Ezekiel look at it.
could I run some sort of check to examine these to figure out what they are?
Do you have nature? Or is
Um,
nature a thing?
I
think
do
it is.
have nature.
Oh, then yeah, feel free.
So do I.
All right, no. You've never
roll a
seen
3
some of
and I
these
still get
plants
a 10.
before.
I roll a
God.
3 on the dice and I still get a 10.
You've never seen some of these plants before. You've seen a few of them, and they are the majority of them that you recognize are indeed some form of helpful potion craft. But the ones that there are a few of them that are some are particularly vibrant colors. Of them are like very very muted, but still very like pretty much take neon pink and then just make it really non-saturated, basically. Don't know how to explain it properly, but stuff like that you've never seen before. But they are next to the what you clearly recognize as either some healing potion plants or some general other ability plants. There's one for fire resistance and one for cold resistance, weirdly enough.
I mean, I might take some materials for fire resistance because we're about to go into probably the strongest area of the hottest area of the island. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So so should I add like potion regen, fire resistance, or something like that?
Yeah, I would say probably like enough to make 1 fire regent, a couple, like probably like 4 or 5 if you want to take them, plants that you don't recognize, and then probably 5 ones for healing potions specifically, enough to make 5 healing potions. Yeah, at least you're kind of walking into town. Shaky obviously disappears into his building. Oliver disappears into the Herbs building. No one seems to really recognize, or not recognize, but no one seems to really register that either of them are really there for the most part. You see Arthur kind of like watching as they both move, and then his gaze fixates onto you. He's like, young miss.
Oh, you spotted me.
Yeah, you're
How are
hobbling through
things?
town.
Oh, feeling a little better today, but I'm definitely gonna feel this for a while.
Well, take it from a man who has felt it many times. He kind of leans forwards and he shows you a massive amount of acid wounds around his neck.
Oh,
Like the base of his
jeez.
neck.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just have little scars basically all over me, like my freckles. And then this
Well,
giant one that's brand new.
I got this one because me and my crew pissed off a really angry mother unkleg. And yeah, she just gave me an acid bath. Great time.
Jeez.
Yeah. Doses worth fire gent, I find it. You'd find 2. Bay looks at you and is like, to answer your question, things are, well, as you would expect. Some of them are having difficulty coping with the last couple months, trying to cope with the idea of living with somebody else, having a child that isn't your own is difficult. Us here, he gestures to the great many people behind him, have decided that we will remake this town to some degree. Seems above us, the Paylor is trying to cover the town to make it so the sun doesn't find purchase in us, which is good. Might take a while. We might leave this town for a bit and come back. But most of the folks here, even with the memories that weren't our own technically, we've decided that we wish to embrace what's been given to us. And there's a lot of orphan children here that we want to give homes to. So that is what we've decided to do. The other folks over there, well, they're trying. They're trying very hard. So we're gonna give them what we can, what they can utilize, and they'll be on their way. He looks at the third group and just has a very deep sigh. I don't know what to do with the rest of them. They aren't taking things very well.
Well, I'm sure they'll come around. I mean, it's only been one day since everything changed for them, but I'm very thankful for you doing this. I wish I could be more help.
He shrugs.
They all definitely deserve a home of some sort, at least some place to return to, even
He
if
nods.
it's not a blood home that they were born to.
He smiles softly to you. Sometimes those who take you in become your family. Does not need for blood. In fact, sometimes blood does not make family. And it's hard to realize that sometimes. And I do hope that they get better. Every person has the right to find themselves. And I'm glad you're feeling better. It's good to see you up on your feet.
Yep,
No.
I definitely agree. Blood doesn't always make you family. So, I myself, being raised by a gnome and not blood family, but I still consider him more family and my forest, my home, more than anything, so.
Nah, I consider my traveling partners as my family. I have not seen them for a while, though, so I might see them again someday. Maybe not. Who knows? But I am
Well-
always looking forward to the idea.
You always have to focus on something to keep you going. I know that.
For now, I shall focus on this town and see if I can help who I can, and those who I can't, well, I shall try regardless. If you're ever back in this area, feel free to try to find us. We'll try to build this town. He looks at the smoldering remains of the church, and we'll do something about it. Make it better. Make it better than it was.
Definitely needs to be better than what it was. I will say that. And thank you so much for doing this. I'll definitely try to be around when I can. To say the least, this is my first time being out and about, so I'm sure I'll be visiting home or at least communicating in some way. So,
He nods and he kneels down onto one knee and gently places a hand on your not injured shoulder. First adventure.
yep, about a week and a half so far. It's been crazy.
Impressive. I hope you and your traveling companions know you did something amazing today. Something even I could not really accomplish. You know, his face kind of like drops for a second, but then he like raises it again, smiles at you. You've saved many people. These children are alive because of you. They are happy because of you. And those folks over there, he gestures to the few that are gathering their stuff still. Jackson's running back and forth between... I don't know if they will continue to live, but if they do not, don't let it burden you. You seem like a strong group. Don't take everything on your own shoulders. Let them carry it too.
I'll keep that in mind. You almost made me cry.
He stands up again and smiles at you. It's a hard path to walk down, the path of an adventure. It's a life many would rather not live. And I understand this better than most. So, but I was told by my mentor, who became my father figure, actually. Everyone who comes next, he smiles really broadly at you, is simply one for you to lead down the path and watch them grow.
Something... That sounds like something my kind of parental figure told me before in his tavern before we headed this way, too. That I didn't belong in the forest anymore. I meant to be out and about, basically.
Well, you managed to take down this, managed to free this town, and your companions did good. You all did amazing. The fellow with the book was kind of strange, but, well, I think you've done well.
It's a group, and it works great, and I love it.
Always remember, those who are by your side, trust. Even if it doesn't seem like they're... You should. He, kind of, looks up to the sky, and you notice he has a scar in the middle of his throat.
Oh.
Looks very much so like a knife. But he is smiling broad and up to the sky. His mace is, practically glowing at his side. So where are you off to next?
Oh... I guess my blood sister scouted ahead and is headed to the Citadel. That's where we're gonna be going next here soon. We're taking today to be gathering up stuff.
Oh,
Hate
good
to
luck.
leave, but that's what adventures are for.
He nods and pats your shoulder slightly. You did the hard work. Now it's time for me to build upon the ruins that you have laid down. You did good. Don't worry about it.
Let me know if anything happens, okay?
I'll find some way to send it to you. I'm sure someone in this town, or someone who will, has that ability. But, I think we're gonna turn this into an adventurer's town. Adventurers walk by, and we'll train them up. And if they wish to. Be a good place. And if you ever retire, this is the place for you. He gives you a broad smile as he, does a thumbs up. His armor clangs as he does.
I'll definitely have to keep that in mind for when I retire, whenever that will be. So, heck, maybe I'll retire and adopt a few of the kids here that are still around.
I'm sure a few of them would like that.
Well, thank you for working hard trying to get everyone back on their feet and making a home for them.
It's the least I can do. Those without
This is your
homes.
chance. He's distracted. Steal the helmet.
Those
That is
without.
not.
You could.
No.
It's like those without homes are those that are most lost, and those who can provide them should. So that's what I'm doing. Now then, a couple of things we need to attend to. He looks at Jackson as Jackson's frantically running back and forth. He's a good kid. Strange. Has a weird sense of humor. kind of unfortunate circumstances, but good kid.
Yeah, I'd say so. He definitely is something.
Kind of folds his arms. He's planning on staying, you know that?
I'm not surprised. That just makes me feel worse leaving him. Ellie starts to tear up.
He's trying to stay to help folks.
I know, and that's what I like about him.
And what are you going to do? You're going to go to help folks, ain't you?
Yep.
So don't be sad. You two are doing the same thing, just in different places.
Funny how the roles reversed.
Life has a funny way of treating folks. Anyways,
So I've noticed.
he's don't stay with us, I'll whip him into a proper boy. I'll use the same tactics that my mentor used on me. Beat him into the ground, and when he stands back up, he'll beat you into the ground eventually.
Well, don't break him. I
It's
still want him
fine.
alive.
Being broken is just another way of standing up. It's fine. You're still standing, ain't you?
I mean, yes, and I've come to this age, but
That'll be
I don't want
fine.
him
I'm not
broken.
even going to use the haste potion.
he ended up at this town for whatever reason. Probably because he was abandoned too, or loneliness, so don't need him more broken. I don't know what's
Well,
going on in his brain right now.
the heart's a difficult thing to master. But the sword, he pulls out his mace. Or mace. The mace is a wonderful tool. Then the sword. And the knife. The weapon is a wonderful tool.
I mean, weapons are easier to learn than people. I've noticed.
Exactly. So I'll teach him how to use a weapon. Well, beyond what he already can. I'll whip into a proper shape. He kind of like pats you on the back and then realizes he did a little bit too hard. He's like, ooh,
Oh.
sorry,
Ow.
sorry.
You're good.
I'll,
I'm all right. I'm always all right, despite what I go through.
you're right. He kind of like reclips his mace. He's like, yeah,
It's
so
okay.
tiny. Right. Anyways, you should. Yeah. Venture. Good times. Yeah.
Thank you. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He looks so awkward. It's like, good, yep. Yep. Right. He turns around and starts walking the other way.
It's like how
His
to
back
talk
is
to
turned
Bean
you,
Sprout.
Steal the helmet. His back is turned to you.
I don't steal things.
She's not a rogue yet. But alright. So this is roughly where we're going to be ending it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys do, feel free to hit that follow button. Go check out our TTRPG YouTube, Tables of Taurus, or our Vods of Valhalla channel for many of my VODs. And go check out some of our other social media, our Patreon, Discord, and all that other fun stuff if you guys want to see more stuff. I have to drink so much.
I gotta say, simplify it. Just down the entire bottle before you get started, and then just refuse to go refill it.
Drink more. You know, my
Oh my
bladder
gosh,
is
my
already
emotions.
full. It's fine. But yeah, and check us out in 2 weeks as we come back, and I will find a way to introduce our little baby bird boy and our new mushroom gal, and you two,
Aw.
you will enjoy their
So excited.
souls. Anyway, yeah, we
excited
got
for my-
not
for
gonna
my
lie.
children.
we got two little baby folks. They're actually full adults. In fact, they're older than both of you,
Nope.
all of you, but they are little babies.
They are my
Oh,
children.
I'm a 33-year-old tiefling.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
older
okay,
than
one of
me,
them is
jeez.
older. One of them is older. Barely, but
Yeah, and I'm a question mark year old human.
you are of an age. So hopefully we'll be
Jackson.
seeing you guys Probably going to introduce them on the way to the Citadel rather than in the Citadel itself, but we'll see what we do. Technically both younger. I think one's about the same age. I could be wrong, though. I would have to check his she again. But that's besides the point. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week, or 2 weeks from now, July 1st, 7:30 p.m. PST to roughly 9:30 p.m. PST. And come check out the rest of my streams at 7 p.m. PST all of the weekend. And we'll see all of you fine folks next time. Bye!
Have a good one.
Bye.
Asta.
La vista.